What up, y'all? Okay, so I just wanted to make this video talking about who people marry, okay? Because a lot of times people are saying, oh, women, a lot of them just marry, they just want a man who's rich, okay? They just want a man who has money. They don't care what they look like. They don't care about their personality, their values, whatever. They just care about the person having money. Oh, the man has to be making six figures, seven figures, two commas, whatever, okay? You also have the opposite side where they say, oh, men only marry women because they're sexy or they're arm candy or what have you, okay? But this argument that I'm trying to make is it's better to marry a true Christian than it is to marry a billionaire, okay? Because if you're just out there searching just for a billionaire, you're trying to marry someone for superficial reasons, okay? Superficial reasons. And the same goes for just marrying someone because they're hot, because they're tall, because they're muscular. It's like those are superficial reasons, and the relationship is less likely to last if you're marrying somebody for superficial reasons, okay? And that's why I say it's better to marry a true Christian than it is to marry a billionaire, because a true Christian is not looking at superficial things. They're not looking for a woman who's like, oh, well, she has big breasts and, she's very sexy. She could be my arm candy. They're not looking for that. They're looking for a strong woman with values who has morals and character. And when both partners are looking for similar things like values, the strength and the character, then the relationship is more likely to last, okay? I know some people are like, I don't care if it lasts, I just want the money, okay? And that's superficial. And in my opinion, if you marry for money, looks, because someone's sexy, you are dumb, shallow, and or perverted, okay? And I was in that boat before. Everybody struggles with that. It's like, but I was shallow. Maybe I was perverted. A lot of guys are, but I came to the realization that we shouldn't go after things that are superficial. It should be things that have meaning, things that are going to make the relationship last, okay? So that is the main reason why I think it's better to marry a true Christian than it is to marry a billionaire. And then obviously, you also have the fact that if you marry a true Christian, you're more than likely going to go to heaven, okay? You're more than likely to go to heaven, okay? If you're just marrying for money, if you're just going for superficial reasons, like I said, you're dumb, you're shallow, and or perverted, okay? And those three things are not likely to get you into heaven, okay? But if you marry for, someone who has values, someone who has morals, someone who has character, they're honorable, all these things, they're strong, they help people, it's like you're more likely to go to heaven if you have a true Christian partner, okay? So, like, a lot of people, they want to have fun now. They want to live their life now. They want to experience and, have pleasure and have all the great things now. But an analogy that I like to use is like, it's a speck of sand. Okay, you have an endless beach. Say you have an endless beach, and then you have one speck of sand. That one speck of sand is your life. Okay, that one little speck of sand, you want to have pleasure for that amount of time? When you have an endless beach of eternity, like paradise, you're gonna trade an eternity of sand, all the sand on an endless beach, for one little speck of sand of fun? Like, I don't really get that. I don't understand that. I don't understand why people want to trade an eternity of paradise for one little speck of sand. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. It's better to marry a true Christian than it is to marry a billionaire. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.